$1.3 billion. That is the figure that evaporated in the collapse of Banco Ambrosiano in 1982. A man named Roberto Calvi, chairman of the bank, known in financial circles as God's banker, was found hanging under Blackfriars Bridge in London on June 17, 1982. His pockets were filled with bricks and cash. The Vatican Bank was listed as a creditor of Banco Ambrosiano. It denied involvement. Multiple investigations were opened across multiple jurisdictions. None of them ended in a way that touched the Vatican in any permanent, structural, or consequential sense. The institution continued operating. It still operates today. State that. Sit with it. Then ask yourself the only question that actually matters: how? The answer is not conspiracy. It is not divine intervention. It is not the kind of backroom influence that makes for entertaining television. The answer is architecture. Legal, deliberate, generational architecture. And once you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. The IOR, Istituto per le Opere di Religione, translated as the Institute for the Works of Religion, was formally established in 1942 under Pope Pius XII. It was created to manage assets held for religious works and for the Catholic Church's institutional interests. It holds accounts for clergy, for Catholic organizations, and, historically, for a range of depositors whose exact profile has never been fully disclosed to any external authority. It operates inside Vatican City. That last part is where the architecture begins. Vatican City became a sovereign state on February 11, 1929. That is the date the Lateran Treaty was signed, an agreement between the Holy See and Benito Mussolini's Italian government. The treaty resolved a 60-year dispute over the temporal authority of the papacy following Italian unification. What it created, as a byproduct, was a 0.44 square kilometer sovereign nation embedded inside Rome, with its own legal system, its own citizenship, its own diplomatic recognition, and full sovereign immunity under international law. That sovereign immunity is not a loophole. It is a wall with a legal foundation that predates the European Union, predates modern banking regulation, and predates virtually every financial oversight framework currently in existence. The IOR is not chartered as a bank under Italian law. It holds no banking license issued by the Bank of Italy. It is not supervised by the European Central Bank. For the majority of its operational history, it was not subject to EU anti-money laundering directives that govern every other financial institution operating within or adjacent to the Eurozone. It answers to a supervisory commission appointed by the Pope. It is overseen by a cardinal commission. Its internal workings are disclosed selectively and on the Vatican's own timeline, not because anyone pressured them into disclosure, but because that is the precise structure of the arrangement. External pressure is irrelevant when you are a sovereign entity. Sovereignty does not negotiate with regulators. It acknowledges them, occasionally, as a courtesy. To understand why this matters, you have to walk through what happened, not with outrage, but with precision. Roberto Calvi was not a peripheral figure. He was the man who ran Banco Ambrosiano, Italy's largest private bank at the time of its collapse. His connection to the Vatican Bank ran through Archbishop Paul Marcinkus, who led the IOR from 1971 to 1989. Marcinkus signed so-called letters of patronage, documents that acknowledged the IOR's connection to shell companies that Banco Ambrosiano had extended credit to. $1.3 billion in loans, backed by entities that did not hold sufficient assets. When the bank failed, the creditors looked at the Vatican. The Vatican acknowledged a moral obligation in the form of a $250 million settlement paid in 1984, explicitly described as not constituting any admission of legal liability. Marcinkus was shielded from Italian prosecution by the Lateran Treaty. Italian courts issued arrest warrants. The warrants could not be executed. He retired to the United States and died in 2006. Michele Sindona, the Sicilian financier, Vatican banker, and later convicted fraudster with documented ties to the Cosa Nostra, moved money through Vatican-connected channels in the 1970s. His collapse preceded Calvi's. He died in prison in 1986, 45 minutes after drinking a cup of coffee laced with cyanide. The investigations into his Vatican-adjacent dealings led nowhere that produced lasting institutional consequence. The P2 Masonic Lodge, a covert, illegal Masonic organization whose membership list, when discovered in 1981, included hundreds of Italian politicians, military officers, judges, and financiers, had documented connections to both Calvi and Sindona. The lodge was described by Italian investigators as a state within a state. The phrase is worth noting. It is used for organizations that operate outside the rules of the systems they inhabit. The Vatican did not need a lodge. It had a treaty. In 2010, Italian financial police froze 23 million euros in Vatican bank accounts held at a Rome bank, citing anti-money laundering concerns and lack of transparency. In 2013, the Council of Europe's Moneyval Committee, which evaluates financial systems for AML compliance, published a report grading the Vatican's framework as largely non-compliant across multiple categories. The Vatican responded with incremental reforms. It created a financial information authority. It signed agreements with Italian authorities. It moved slowly toward greater surface-level transparency. None of this was compelled. No external body could compel it. The Vatican cooperated on its own terms, at its own pace, and retained the right to stop cooperating at any point. That is the mechanism. Not secrecy as a tactic, sovereignty as a foundation. The most durable financial structures in recorded history share a single trait. They removed themselves, quietly and legally, from the oversight frameworks that govern everyone else. Not by cheating within the system. That is what gets institutions destroyed. By ensuring, at the foundational level, that the system's jurisdiction ends before it reaches them. The Vatican accomplished this not through cunning alone, but through a political treaty signed in 1929 with a fascist government, which created a legal fiction, a sovereign city-state on a city block in Rome, that the entire international legal order has since agreed to respect. That fiction is worth more than any banking license. It is worth more than any compliance program. It is the asset that cannot be seized, subpoenaed, or reformed from the outside. The IOR exists today. It holds approximately $5 billion in assets under management, according to figures it has chosen to release. It continues to serve the financial needs of the Church. It has a new statute, revised in 2020. The supervisory structure has been updated. The surface presentation has modernized. None of that changed the underlying architecture. You cannot regulate a sovereign. You can only request that it regulate itself. The institutions that survive generational scrutiny are not the ones that play by the rules better than anyone else. They are the ones that ensured, at the founding level, in the legal documents, in the treaties and charters that no one reads carefully until something collapses, that the rules were never written to include them. The Vatican Bank did not survive every financial scandal because it was careful. It survived because it was unreachable. There is a difference. Most people will never understand it. The ones who do tend to structure things accordingly.